But it's one of the biggest weekends in karting. It's called the RoboPong 200 at the Newcastle Motorsports Park. Some of the best young drivers around. And this year, they're adding something special. The Pro-Am event on Saturday. It's the Dan Wheldon Memorial Pro-Am Karting Challenge. A bunch of IndyCar drivers are signed up and here to preview it. And the one who's really organized this whole thing, the wife, of course, is the late Dan Wheldon. Susie Wheldon here on Sunday Sports. Great to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Might I add,
yes.
I'm also driving in this on Saturday.
I know. I'm going to have to put some special, I don't know.
Can you give me the good cart?
Well, I've had a lot of those requests, so I'm kind of going to have to stay neutral, I think, on this. It's getting intense. I know it's, all fun and for charity, but everybody wants to win.
No. So this is what happens when you put racers together. Charity, that's great. We want to win.
I know, no, for sure.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so. It kind of came together rather quickly. I think I knew that I wanted to do something eventually, and just the way it came together with being out at Newcastle just made sense for us. Dan was good friends with Mark Dismore Jr. and the whole family, and they've been so gracious to allow me to run my event during RoboPong, which, Dan used to race every year when he could in the off season. So just really looking forward to it. And that way, the drivers, the season's over and they're able to celebrate a little bit and just kind of be together, and hopefully it'll be a really fun event.
How did all this come about? Sadly, now it's been 2 years since Dan's passing in Vegas. I'm assuming you wanted to wait a little bit to see what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I had been approached by a few people wanting to do something, and it just wasn't the right time or just not the right fit. And over in England, the family, Dan's brothers and his sister Holly and Clive had done something similar, and the promoters of that event wanted to take something and bring it over stateside. And so just after talking with them and kind of figuring out more of the details and what kind of made sense over here, I just really felt like it was a good fit, and just overall just wanted to pursue it and wanted to really have my hands on it. So I wanted to be able to kind of plan it and, just leave my mark and something for the boys, our children, that they can hopefully, take part of eventually one day.
We should mention the proceeds go to something that was near and dear to Dan, Alzheimer's Association.
Yes. Sadly his mother was diagnosed at the end of 2008, so it's going on 5 years now. And, just something that he was very passionate about and raising awareness about. And kind of as we learned about the illness more, it's a devastating illness, but also just how many people are affected by it. Once you have a story, it's amazing how many other people have a story as well. And I think there's so much research that can be done still, and I just wanted to be able to carry that on for him. And it made sense to have a charity aspect tied to an event like this.
Clive Wheldon's coming, Dan's dad.
Yes.
Brothers are coming over.
Yes.
Holly the sister's coming over. If you know anything about the Wheldons, this could get out of hand pretty quick.
Well, they've all been calling me, telling me, where they should be placed on which team. So I've been trying to strategically
They've all had advice a little bit, is that right?
Yes, they're all avid karters, and so they will be able to hold their own out there for sure.
I noticed you didn't create Team Wheldon, and that's a good thing for the rest of us.
Yeah, I didn't think that'd be fair, so I kind of tried to spread them out a little bit.
Look at the names: Sebastian Saavedra, Joseph Newgarden, that's the team I'm on, American Honda, Brian Herta, Jay Howard, Marino Franchitti, who's replacing Dario Franchitti, Scott Dixon, Ed Carpenter, Simon Pagenaud, Sage Karam, the reigning IndyCar Lights champion, Tristan Vautier, Martin Plowman, Alex Tagliani, James Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great lineup.
Really good group of guys. And, if we had a limited amount of space, there's only 13 teams, and, everybody that I asked if they could do this event, they were more than happy to do it. And there was a couple guys that just weren't available, so they had to decline. But everybody, even the sponsors, Honda, Firestone, Big Machine Records, I'm not going to remember them all, but Bell Racing, William Rast and Global Rallycross, Target, of course, Bowers & Wilkins, Comfort Revolution, SG Helmets, ALC Consulting, Eli Lilly, which is a local company here, IMS, and GoDaddy. Just everybody signed on and just asked how they could help in whatever way. So the response has been overwhelming.
I think it's great. Some of these companies, including William Rast, who we really haven't heard from since Dan won the Indy 500.
Yeah, and just really special to have them on board again, too, and for Brian to be running that team. And and his son Colton will be in the race. So
who I heard's a ringer.
Right, yeah.
And Adrian Newey's kid, Brandon's apparently a ringer. See, this is going to be really interesting. How are you doing, by the way, these days?
I'm doing all right, hanging in there, staying busy. The boys are keeping me extremely busy and on my toes. Sebastian's 4.5, Oliver's 2.5. They'll both be at the event. Good. So you'll see them running around. Yeah, so it'll just, we're looking forward to it. Sebastian, he's a little bit older, so he kind of understands, so he's wanting to know when the race, I mean, as soon as we hit...
He probably wants to drive, doesn't he?
For sure. And we haven't started in a go-kart yet, but he has, he'll be out there in his full race kit with his fire suit and gloves and all of that. So I think we're going to try and get on the track, maybe back home in Florida. Dan's family's coming over to St. Pete after this trip, and I think Clive and the brothers are going to take him out. So
we should mention, obviously, Dario's not in it because of his accident in Houston.
Right.
You were down there.
I was.
When I watched all this play out on TV, the first person I thought of was you, because I knew you were down there. That must have been really difficult.
Yeah, it was, and oddly enough, Houston was kind of a one-off race that I hadn't been to a race since Indy, and it was really just to kind of wrap things up for this event, and I wasn't planning to go. It was a last-minute trip, and it was hard to kind of not go back to that place for sure, and just with the timing of everything, and close to Dan's anniversary, and just so glad that Dario's okay, and he's going to expect a full recovery, and just so pleased that he was able to stay out of trouble. As far as any life-threatening injuries.
Well, it is the DW12, and Dan's work leading into the construction of this chassis. It's the reason these guys are still with us.
And obviously that's something that people have after everything happened with Dario's accident have mentioned to me, and just feel really proud of just the work that he was able to do, and that he's able to, his legacy can carry on in so many different ways. Well,
you're going to be around racing. You were beforehand in another life, if you will, another job, and then you were with us St. Pete, dropping the green flag. And so you're not going to go anywhere.
Right. And I think Sebastian and Oliver, Sebastian especially, because like I said, he's a bit older. I don't know, he might want to get into the family business. So
it's only a matter of time, especially if the Weldons keep coming overseas.
I know, I'm kind of, my hands are tied, but no, and which is completely, we talked about this when you came down to see me earlier, or I guess last year, and I'm fine with that. If that's something that he wants to pursue, I just want to be able to give him, a decent opportunity to do that, and all indication is he wants to go for it, so I'm going to have to hold on tight for that one.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah.
The times again on Saturday.
So we have some practice groups starting. Gates open at 7. Admission is free, so that's important. So everybody can come out. There's nothing, it doesn't cost to get in.
Newcastle Motorsports Park, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that all the way out in Newcastle, but it's a great time and a short drive.
Yep, and if they want to get more information, they can go to the website at newcastleraceway.com. We'll have a first practice session starting at 9:50 on Saturday, and then we'll have an autograph session at 11:45 with all the pro drivers. That will be there for about 30 minutes, and then our race starts at 12:30, and it's a 2-hour event. So build up your stamina.
Not 2 hours total.
That's
we get to switch drivers and everything. And of course, Sunday, the RoboPong 200, where they'll be racing for the Dan Weldon Cup. What do I have to do again to grease the wheel a little bit?
I don't know. We can talk about it after. I'm not sure.
Put me in line. Just put me on the waiting list. That's all I ask.
All right.
Susie Weldon, we'll see you Saturday.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Take care.